1. Popcorn Pundits are go.
Podcast.
That was just like the Thunderbirds.
We should really be like a hugely celebratory beginning.
This
to
is.
this.
This
That's it.
That's about the level that we usually get to.
Can I just ask you a quick question?
Over to you.
What did you eat before you came in? Because you've got a little red dot in the middle of your tongue. Did you eat a tune?
Yeah.
No,
Where?
in the middle of your tongue. Here, there. There's a red dot.
I mean, that's one way to start the
Is there?
anniversary,
Yeah.
isn't it?
I don't know.
Did you have a tune or something? Because you've got,
No.
got a bit of a cold coming.
I don't know.
Oh.
I'll have to look in the mirror.
There we go.
For those of you looking on YouTube, what's this?
Do you see it?
Oh yeah, it's weird, isn't it?
Papa, 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 ba-da!
Popcorn Pundits,
Yep, we're giddy.
week 52. What does that mean, Nikki?
That means I've I've had a really fun year with you guys.
Yes, indeed. It's our first year
What are
anniversary.
you pointing
I
at?
was going to say, why Peter?
It's our first year anniversary. I cannot believe we've been sitting on the sofa for 12 months.
We should probably have a chat, shouldn't we?
The couch sessions.
This is the Popcorn Pundits. It's the trio of cinema lovers bringing another episode of your Popcorn Pundits review show into your ears, into your eyes, and anywhere else you can fit us.
I would say I started off as like a fame-hungry whore bag, but now I've turned into a cinema lover.
Absolutely.
Who's still a fame-hungry
underneath you
whore bag.
and your tutelage.
Absolutely.
So there we go.
Yes,
We were supposed to dress really smart today.
We have, I think, in our
Well,
own way.
you have and you have.
You look all right.
I have the rest of my smart outfit on the hanger in there, and I couldn't be asked to change it. I'm already really hot, so I'm going to take my jacket off. And
Okay,
just
take your jacket off. I don't want you overheating, darling.
I'm already starting to schwitz.
It's that kind of birthday party, is
Oh
it?
yeah, it's one layer every review.
Oh, God.
Awesome.
Tune in for the review show.
So who are we? What do we do?
We are the Popcorn Pundits. We like to review fantastic movies, not so good movies, and really rubbish movies sometimes.
Especially the rubbish ones.
Exactly.
They're my favourite.
Every week we take a bullet for a listener, or sometimes we go and tantalise ourselves with a little preview of a movie that they're going to get excited about as well. Tell everybody all about it. We like to give a rundown of the top 10, and PT likes to review movies from home, from a streaming platform that I insist he's looking at.
What have you learned this year, James?
I've learnt that you are very patient with me.
Okay. This is going to be an interesting review week, I think.
I think so.
I think I have learnt quite a lot about.
I think you have.
Film.
I think you've learnt there's a lot more to it than you probably thought there was in the first place.
Yeah, I didn't realise what a lean there is towards psychological problems in movies, especially
Yes.
in horror. There's a real link towards that, which I didn't kind of put two and two together before. But yeah, then also just like the general genres that we've been through, and watching an entire year's worth of movies. I think it does give you a real bed for comparison, and it's it's really good. And the other thing I've obviously learned is the fact that everyone is entitled to an opinion.
Really?
Opinions
my
don't
God.
change.
Yes.
Don't change.
Yeah.
That's not what I meant to
they
say.
do change.
Opinions can be different.
Yeah, and also they can change.
And everyone can be correct
Absolutely.
in their own little weird minds.
And does that mean you accept other people having an opinion that might be correct in their own minds?
Yeah, 100%. That's something I'm learning to try and learn.
Come back to me when you've learned.
You know what I was going to say? In today's therapy session,
Nikki, what have you learnt over the last 12 months?
I've learned that occasionally men do listen to me.
So what did she say?
I wasn't
I have
paying
no idea what
attention.
she-
I was
no
looking
idea.
at your socks. I've got a
Exactly.
pair of those. They're really nice.
They're really quite nice, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's your Popcorn Pundits. Shall we just dive into the top 10? And I'm sure we'll ramble on about our anniversary special as we go along.
Absolutely.
Before we do the top 10, it's another special occasion as of today with it going out on Thursday, isn't it?
I think it was yesterday. No, it's
No,
today.
It will be today.
It's a special haircut day.
It is a special
absolutely.
haircut day.
Is it your P45?
It is, yeah. It's
Well,
James.
yeah. Well, apparently
Nikki just handed me an envelope.
you've got that for
James's
me.
birthday today.
It is indeed. I like the envelope. It's nice and ribbed.
I like
Oh, I've
it.
got a
extra-
confession to make.
the extra.
I forgot how to fill cards in when I started writing on it, so
That's
I
fine.
did it all
I
totally
did it.
Sorry to
wrong.
sound cheesy, but I hope your
Apologise.
birthday is great. That's amazing.
Yeah, I did.
Happy birthday, one of us, Jay. But love Peter. Nice upside down writing there, Nikki. I like that.
I did it James style.
That's the way to go.
Absolutely, yes. Pundit. Thank you so much.
Happy birthday for
Got
today.
my card for my birthday.
It says double birthday.
It is. It's almost as if we did it on purpose. Isn't that weird how that worked out?
Did we actually do the first one on your birthday last year?
No.
Because your birthday's a secret.
It was the day after, wasn't it,
It
last
was,
year?
exactly. Nobody knew anything about it.
I did.
You're obsessed by Marmite.
I am.
Where's that come from?
Well, he just was, wasn't he? I mean,
I still
I
am.
started off buying
still
Marmite
is.
snackage for him.
I still am.
And I thought, what did you eat during that film would be a great feature, and it wasn't.
We tried it for a while, didn't we?
Yeah,
Yeah,
just like
exactly.
it phased
phased
out,
out,
where
yes,
it frazzled out.
Frazzled out. I like a frazzle.
I love a frazzle.
They're quite noisy though.
Oh, you and your... Alright, okay. Number 10. Oh, what's this? What is this?
Alice's Adventures.
In Wonderland, the Royal Opera House, London 2024. It's a ballet, which means...
It's not a movie.
It's not a movie, however,
Moving on.
I did go and see it
Oh, did
at
you?
the Everyman in Marlow.
Oh, okay, was it good?
It was amazing.
What did you eat?
Um,
I'm bringing it
Nuts.
back.
we didn't, but the people behind us had burgers,
Did they?
and the people a few rows ahead had pizzas.
Okay.
You know,
So I think hot food in a cinema, I think initially it takes a little while for your head to get around it, because you sit there and you think, I can just smell hot food, and then slowly but surely it just becomes nothing after
Well,
all.
my issue is I'm not very good at eating food, and like I've had chicken skewers and prawn tempura and stuff like that in there, and I end up wearing all of it. And the
Yeah.
thing is, you never know you're wearing it until you get home and you look in the mirror and you go, I've done it
You've
again.
got chocolate all over me.
Absolutely correct.
So yeah, it was really good, especially if you're into a ballet and you don't want to spend all the money to go into London.
That's
And then, so we went to the Everyman. I believe also community centres and art centres are showing them as well, and they're going on, I think, till middle of next year.
Really?
So lots of different ones. We're going to try and go and see the Nutcracker next.
Nice. Was it just one angle? Was it like you were sitting at the cinema at the theatre, or was it close-ups and so on and so forth as well?
It was one angle, but at each interval they were talking about how the ballet was created
Yeah.
and all the different.
I really got some back.
Dance.
Oh, was it live time?
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it was like so. It was a live stream.
live
From the
stream.
Royal
Oh,
Opera
amazing.
House.
Oh,
Okay.
nice.
So it was really cool. So I recommend going onto the Royal Ballet and Opera House website and seeing when the next ones are up, or on the Everyman and local cinema.
But it's going on
websites.
to next summer.
I believe so. Yeah.
I think it's a brilliant. I mean, I know a joke about the fact it's not a film. Did I interrupt you?
Yeah, I had a
Really
joke.
good,
I was
then.
setting myself up for a joke and you went and pissed on it.
No, go on and say it.
No, I can't now, can I? I have to try and bring it back in later
Hang on. I believe they're going on till next summer.
Well,
yeah.
the ballerinas are going to be knackered, aren't they?
No. They're
Anyway,
Maybe.
so
it's their job.
Number 9. My Hero Academia. : You're next.
yeah, you're next.
What is this?
So this one, I believe, is the anime one. I think we talked about it last.
Oh, we did, and I'd
yeah.
forgotten.
So it says, hoping to be the best hero he can be, high school student Izuka Midoriya confronts a villain who imitates the hero he's long admired.
Number 8, The Substance.
The Substance.
It's still in the charts, which
Yeah.
is good.
Dennis Quaid's feet are amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, his cubanos.
Yeah, but he makes really loud noise, even on the. And what I love about it, I just remembered this earlier on today. Even on the carpet, it sounds like he's walking on wood.
Have you watched this again?
No, but I keep thinking about it.
Number 7, Beetlejuice.
Yes. If you say it one more time, you know what's going to happen.
Number 6, Joker, : Folie à deux.
Can
Now,
I-
it's
go on.
like they put a colon in this, expecting me to hate it, and I don't.
I did it on purpose too.
Yeah, I know.
I did
they
hear
foxed
somebody
me.
else's review about this, who's got really tall hair, kind of got an Elvis haircut. Mark somebody.
Oh, okay.
Not important. We don't know. He needs to know his surname.
Yeah.
However, he pointed out he thought it was over time people would actually refer it better than the first Joker
For what reason?
because of layering and the way it's been made and so on and so forth. He's a champion of it, which is I commend him for it.
So, I mean, there just seems to be a bit of an unnecessary backlash for Joaquin Phoenix, doesn't there, really?
Exactly.
I just don't get it. I
Exactly.
mean, I thought it was brilliant.
So did I. So
Number 3, Terrifier 3, which I've had it on good authority, is actually really good. And the whole series is really good, and I've seen none of them.
do you know what? I've not seen any of them either.
Should we
weirdly.
have a Terrifier 1, 2 and 3 night?
100%. Let's do a triple bill.
Because you just told me that you were having a party.
Yes.
And I haven't got an invitation yet, so I presume
What
I'm not
party?
going. Yeah, I haven't got an invitation either.
Should we go?
No, New Year's
to the
Eve.
party?
Last year, New Year's Eve, we had a Saltburn party.
Yeah.
This year, we're going to have a substance party. What
Great.
could possibly go wrong?
Oh God.
Terrifier 3, though, definitely do that. Yeah, let's do a triple bill.
For Halloween.
And we'll re-review it.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, let's do that. And I believe we had a review sent into us.
We have
About
yes.
Terrifier 3?
Yes.
Oh, fabulous.
Good. Okay, then.
Should we do that now?
No. That's not how this show works, Peter. It's been a year. You should know that.
The producers
I
on
know
there.
I did
like
that
it.
to
I
get
do
all...
quite like
I
it.
wanted her to produce me.
Yeah.
Excuse you.
Number 4, Transformers 1.
Yes.
Now, my daughter has seen this,
Yes, and the Tucker TV went to see it as well.
and she absolutely loved it.
So did
She's
they.
now seen it another twice.
Wow.
And she's coming home this weekend for the first time
Another twice.
from university. Yeah, another twice.
You
Yeah.
thought
Did
you
you know
were
that?
bad one.
That's something that I would come out with.
Yeah, no, that's why I said it, because I now speak dyslexic. I'm,
That's why we understood you.
I'm bilingual.
Yeah, I've always thought you spoke both ways.
Yeah, so
anyway,
and she is going to watch it with me again at the weekend.
cool. Number 3.
The Apprentice.
I was going to see that last night, but I came
Failed.
down with a bit of a cold.
Part-time
Came down with a bit
film
of a cold.
reviewer.
And then Jeremy was showing me how to play Halo Wars 2.
Okay,
Yeah, it's quite
Excellent.
good.
so you're going to be doing a game
I was
podcast
just
next
about
week?
to say.
I might do that, you know, that live streaming thing that they do? Yeah!
I think
And
you
just
were-
call each other
I think
names and
it's on
things.
Twitch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
What would your Twitch name be?
Oh, fancy pants.
What a twatch. That's what it would be.
Fancy pants. Jimmy Fancy Pants, like to call me.
Number 2.
Smile 2. Last week was better when we had a 1 and a 1 and a 2 and a 2 and a 3 and a 3
Yes,
place.
we did.
Yes.
We're not there this week, but we've still got Smile 2,
We have.
which is the film that we both went to see.
Yes.
Um,
But at different times.
well, we kind of tag teams, didn't we?
We did.
We did a film review relay.
It's like pegging.
I walked up to James having seen it, and I walked up to him as he was sitting in the lobby because he turned up at the wrong time.
He wanted to see the
And
trailers.
I was doing my Smile 2 smile at him,
Yeah.
and he didn't even notice.
Didn't even notice.
He just thought I was being friendly.
You were.
I wasn't. I was trying to be scary.
All right, it worked on me. Number 1.
The Wild Robot, which again one of my mates went to see this week and said it's absolutely stunningly beautiful, but I haven't seen it. I'd really like to see it.
Tucker TV went to see that. The Tucker TV has seen more films than we have this week, I think.
It's
I mean, you've barely seen a film this month.
yeah, exactly.
I've been on it.
It's an animated
I
one.
know.
It is.
Shipwrecked on a desert island, a robot named Roz must learn to adapt to its new surroundings. Building relationships with native animals, Roz soon develops a parental bond with an orphaned gosling.
And a,
Roz
and
the
a
robot.
Well,
fox.
it doesn't say fox here.
Who let
so
the
it doesn't
fox
say
out?
That doesn't even make sense, James. Apparently a baboon.
Yes, exactly.
That is this week's top 10 in the UK and Ireland up until the date. I haven't got a clue because it's been chopped off the top of my sheet of paper. I went all Ron Burgundy then. I couldn't do it because I couldn't read it.
22nd of October.
My name's Ron Burgundy?
I blame your printings when I sent it out today.
Who the fuck put a question mark on the teleprompter?
So there you
this week
Yes.
we went to see a film.
We did at the cinema called Smile 2.
Yeah.
Should we start?
Yeah.
Who's going first?
Who's going first?
I'll go first.
Okay.
So Smile 2,
Yeah.
well, not many people didn't realise it. It's set 7 days after the original film.
6 days.
Wow, it says 7 here.
At the beginning of the film, it says 6 days later.
Well, that's 7 days technically, though, isn't it? The big day afterwards. It's like
Okay.
next week, this week. Don't start, Nikki. Anyway. Cut to pop sensation Sky Riley, who finds herself spiralling into a nightmare reality as she prepares herself for a New World tour.
Did you see the first one?
I did.
I didn't.
Are you pointing at me?
But
Are you
I was
pointing at
I was
me?
just checking that you knew that I was talking to you.
Yes.
I want you to lick my tongue again. No, I don't. I want you to lick my finger again.
No.
Don't lick my tongue.
No.
I mean, I know it's our birthday and everything, and we've been
Well, how else are we
friends,
going to
but
celebrate?
I don't need to
Anyway,
know.
she begins to experience terrifying visions and psychotic episodes. Now, that force her to confront her deeply buried trauma, including a near-death experience that haunts her. That's pretty much the start of the movie. But before that, there was a pre-bit which I thought was fantastic. Director Parker Finn returns with a larger budget.
So what? So do we know Parker Finn?
Well, he did the first one.
Yes. So no, I don't.
I'm not familiar with his back catalogue of movies. I know he did Smile One. Nikki's going to tell us all about.
It's a really short back catalogue. I looked because I was wondering whether you'd seen like one of the 2 other films that he's done.
No.
But it is quite a short back catalogue.
So this is a larger budget movie than the first Smile movie. If you're familiar with the first Smile movie, great. The story kind of continues, but with different characters. But you don't necessarily need to see the first one to appreciate the second one. It's very, very important you know that.
I can second that.
Because you haven't seen the first one.
Yeah.
Okay. Opening scene sets a tense tone, I thought.
Doesn't it?
Doesn't it just? Resembling a police raid, I thought. It had a very sort of like freeing camera police raid type thing going on there at the very beginning.
Yeah, but there was a random burning man in the garden.
There was, because that was a vision that you see when you are infected with the smile.
Oh, okay.
You see, there you go.
So that was one of the random things I just didn't get about this film.
To be fair, though, as the film goes on, you kind of realise that they're seeing visions and they're seeing things, and it basically turned to people insane.
Okay, got you. It was just a very unvisionary vision.
Okay, good. Well, I'm glad that.
Okay, I will shut up, James.
Yeah. The opening scene sets with a tense zone resembling a police raid before plunging into a horror with a shocking accident that leaves the word smile and the number 2 streaked in blood across the gigantic screen, which I thought worked really, really well, particularly the entrails coming out the bottom of the car. Because initially, this in itself, it's a bit of blood and concrete, and then it pans out, and it becomes absolutely fantastic. So it's a really, really strong start to this film. Very, very strong start indeed.
Indeed it is.
Now, I didn't realise that Naomi Scott is actually a singer in her own right.
I've got no clue who
There
she
you go.
is.
So, and traditionally, when there is a singer, I mean, Lady Gaga is a different example, but traditionally, when they involve a singer, I would say Trap is a fine example of this. When they involve a singer within a movie and they ask the singer to act, it's a difficult ask sometimes, and you're stretching the boundaries. Cher is a fine example.
There we go.
I do like her acting, actually, weirdly.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah, I do like
I
her
just thought
acting.
she was another good one.
Yeah, exactly.
So I thought Naomi Scott was fucking brilliant.
I have to say that there are actually calls out on the internet asking for people to reconsider the whole horror genre not getting nominated for Oscars. They're actually asking her, not necessarily an Oscar, but definitely give her some awards, because her performance was amazing.
Incredible. And she is actually, in this, I thought she was like a perfect blend between Lady Gaga
Yes.
and Ariana Grande.
100%.
That's kind of like the character she's playing.
Very much so.
She's fucking amazing in this.
And she has this ability to be a performer on stage, somebody going through a massive mental health issue, but also a young person. She doesn't come across like she's acting like a human being. When young people try to act like they're young, they over egg the pudding completely.
No,
you don't get any of
absolutely.
that at all. She's a little bit urban. She's a little bit angry.
And there's relationship in this.
Yes.
I mean, they bring back a friend of hers, and,
Yes.
and the relationship with her friend is broken down prior to the smile
Absolutely.
horror aspect of this starting.
Yeah.
And she's been a dick to her
Yeah,
mate, and
exactly.
her mate is just like.
And it's kind of mentioned, but it's not over egged. It's kind
She's
of
done
it's
well.
done very, 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 very well. The film also explores mental health issues, which you've spoken about before, illustrating Skye's descent into insanity and the impact of her trauma, and also her addiction issues as well. So it's very layered.
But I think this film in particular, the balance of those two things
Yes.
works exceptionally well,
I agree.
because you're also dealing with that the celebrity, the fame of a celebrity, and the fact that you can't go anywhere without people always being there. To me, it was like a real parallel between the horror that we're going to experience during this film, and also the psychology of being a mega famous superstar.
Yeah, but also there's the pressure of access, availability all the time. There's the pressure of dealing with your own mental health issues, as well as putting a smile on your face when you're in the general public, and so on and so forth. Now, this film has got a higher body count than the first film. With very clever storytelling, I thought. But I mean, for such a two-dimensional film, because it is technically a very, very simple story, the story really initially is that each participant of the Smile disease or infection, so to speak, is passed on from the initial person. Goes through that transformation, their face changes into a smile, then they kill themselves, and then that person is then infected by that act.
The witness of that death
Definitely.
is then infected by
Exactly.
the infectant
Exactly.
yes.
So it's a very simple concept of a film, but it's very. I was very surprised how layered it was, and also to also features a memorable cameo by Drew Barrymore,
Yeah.
which I thought was fantastic. But also,
What was her TV program called?
I don't know, but also Ray Nicholson. Now Ray Nicholson is Jack Nicholson's son,
I know that, James.
and his smile is so remnant of his father. And there's a fantastic scene which plays a gigantic homage to The Shining in the car, where they're chatting away, and and you could see
The weather are weathering.
Yes, you could see Jack Nicholson talking about when they're travelling towards the hotel in the original Shining movie, and that juxtaposition works so well.
Has he been the son? Has he been in other films?
Yeah, kind of, but nothing to this extent. Nothing. He's never really worn his father's name on his on his lapel the way he did it in this movie.
I just thought he acted really well in it. I
think so.
He's not in it in a massive amount, but I thought actually I'd like to see him in some other stuff.
I agree, 100%, and I think you've got to be careful of not mimicking his father's legacy over and over again, because I think you could to play that almost too much.
Oh, do you think this was that? Do you think that was he was supposed to be him looking like Jack Nicholson?
No, I think they just took advantage of it. To be fair, and I think it was a lovely homage to all of Jack Nicholson, The Shining, and all those horror movies and so on and so forth. So I think that worked really, really well. So go on.
I was just going to say, do you think the trailer of this film did it credit?
Not in any shape or form. No, it didn't give you any indication of how good this film was going to be.
Because this film's like 2 hours and 7 minutes long.
Yeah, it felt like 5 minutes.
It felt like 5 minutes,
It
and
did.
it was just such a pleasant surprise. I mean, I kind of expected to go in and out after an hour and a half.
Yeah.
And it to be, as you said,
1 hour 41 minutes. Usually.
Yeah, 1 hour 43 minutes, exactly right. But just for it to be that shallow, like no depth, no.
Should I mention the slasher, over and done with, in and out, shaking all about.
Exactly right.
etc. So as viewers are drawn into Sky's terrifying experience, they gain insight into her mental struggles, making this sequel a compelling investigation into fear and vulnerability. Smile 2 stands as a worthy successor to the original, developing into a terrifying, thought-provoking experience that will keep an audience on the edge of their seats. Whether you loved the original one or didn't love the original one, I think you should definitely go and see the second one. To me, it felt short slightly in the middle of the movie. It went a little bit lack of focus during the middle of the film. However, it did have an incredibly strong start. The ending was dynamic and worked really, really well. Fantastic use of the sound was amazing. The use of sound worked really, really well, and you went to see the iSense. Fast-paced yet layered, and the perfect use of jump scares.
Fuck me. I mean, the jump scares in this are absolutely fucking insane.
They're great, aren't they?
There is one when...
They're cliche, but work every single time.
Oh my god! Because they don't just work in a boom and then you're still where you are.
Oh yeah. Sometimes you get a double one. You get a double bump.
Yeah, but you get a boom and then you're somewhere else, and then it's like, holy shit! Honestly, I've learnt to love the jump scare. Yeah. This has been a year of loving the jump scare, and this has been the best jump scares of the year.
Oh, good.
What a way to anniversary.
Yeah, but this film was such a shock. It was supposed to be shit.
It was.
And it's not shit at all.
To me, it was supposed to be a throwaway movie where you just went midweek and went, I've seen it. But to me, I'm putting it up there.
Wow.
This could have been another Night Swim. And it just wasn't. It was like really deep and layered and beautiful. And
no, Swim Fan.
Thank you, Swim Fan. No,
because Night Swim was good. Swim Fan was bad.
No, Night was the one about the haunted swimming pool.
That was alright. Night Swim was alright.
I thought it was terrible.
Okay.
I thought it was dreadful. But I thought Naomi Scott was an absolute legend.
Great find. Fantastic find.
And she just absolutely carried it, because sometimes you watch a film about that type of character and it's really uncomfortable to watch.
Trap is a fine example of that.
Yeah.
She was the weakest link in that film.
Raven.
Yes. However, we had Sky this time.
Yeah. I didn't mind Raven in Trap. I thought Raven was actually one of the stronger bits of the film.
But her acting was not brilliant.
She wasn't great on stage.
Yeah.
Whereas this, even like the practice dance routines and stuff like this.
Yeah, the
your
dance
favorite,
routine.
your favorite bit.
Yeah.
Was epic. Really, really good.
Yep.
There's one bit where she goes like round twice,
I know.
360. You're like,
Yeah. Right.
It's in a
fucking
cartwheel.
crazy. Like,
Yeah.
but no, she doesn't touch the ground,
Yeah.
and it's not even a haunty spooky.
So an aero cartwheel.
So one of the things I'm learning about horror this year, James, and I didn't know that generally horror is quite a low budget.
Very much so.
Genre.
You've got to concentrate on the story, the plot, the feeling, the music. Everything has to be extreme to get that message across because they don't have the money to pay for things.
But there's almost a happy expectation of the big reveal at the end of horror films.
Yeah.
Not having to be spectacular CGI.
Exactly.
And that's almost like it's embraced, not just accepted by
Yeah.
horror fans. It's almost embraced.
You're
How
almost
shit can
You're
the reveal
almost
be?
disappointed
if
with
it's
the
good?
CGI at the end.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I mean, like Alien, for example.
As a prime example.
Yeah, like you hated the CGI bit at the end.
So disappointing. The
So
whole film was
I
fantastic.
didn't mind that. However, having seen in the last few weeks, having seen Substance and having seen Smile 2 now, fucking brilliant.
Embrace it on CGI.
Yeah.
Embrace it on. There was a little bit of CGI at the end of this, which was a little bit disappointing.
Oh, I didn't find it disappointing.
But I did like the body horror bit at the end, which made me which made me smile.
Oh, and
You get it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
very good. And but also, yeah,
I thought about you when it happened, and I thought he's going to be going.
I was really,
James.
yeah, but it's just the way that it was done as well.
Yeah, I know.
The fact that you don't see it.
Yeah.
It's brilliant.
Exactly.
Yeah, really, really good. Really, really clever.
Nikki McNicky, before we give the scores, would
Yeah.
you like to give us some facts and little bits of behind the scenes?
Oh, we're doing it that way. I
Information.
think you normally gave your scores first.
This is quite. I was about to say this has been quite slick up until this point, and then you just
Yeah.
went and fucked it.
8.5 out of 10.
Oh, I gave it 8.
There you go.
It's one of the best horrors we've seen all year. It's a surprisingly good film, and it's actually a good week to go and see a horror.
It is a very well just coming up before Halloween.
That was
Best
my
time
point.
of
Yes,
the year.
indeed.
Absolutely right. So go see it.
8.3.
8.3. That's a good score.
Listen,
You
that-
deserve-
it's the right
That's a
score.
solid score.
It's
Yeah.
actually 7.2 on IMDb.
They're wrong.
But you can't be wrong for a review. They're entitled to their own
Parker
review.
Finn,
Yes.
as Peter was saying, he hasn't really been in much else. He did something called The Hide Behind.
Right.
Laura Hasn't Slept, and then he did Smile and Smile too.
Well, he needs to continue with that genre because he's very good at it.
And talking of Ray Nicholson,
Yes.
you saying he needs to be in more stuff. He was in a couple of things I've seen, I believe, on Netflix. One was called Licorice Pizza, and something else was
Oh,
called.
I love Ricky. I didn't. What part was he?
He
Licorice
was
Pizza?
Ray.
Right.
And then he was in something from Tiffany's, which was like, I think, a Netflix Christmassy thing.
Oh, that sounds horrific.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
He is going to be in a film coming out soon called Borderline,
Right.
and there is currently a post-production film that he is in, which is called Novocaine.
Right, well, let's watch out for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're new lovers of
And
them.
then facts from the film.
Yes.
Kyle Gallner
Yeah.
is the only actor to reprise his role from the first film.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Oh, I was waiting for you to ask me who he played.
Who did he play?
No.
He's,
And then
he's very insular today, James. He's very in his own little bubble.
Yeah.
Who did he play in that?
He played Joel.
Did he?
He did, yes. The scar on Sky's knee is in the shape of a smile.
Yes.
Yep.
And a number of in-universe songs sung by Sky Riley
Yeah.
were released on iTunes.
Were they now?
Mm-hmm. And Naomi Scott said she was trying to emulate Lady Gaga.
Yeah, you can
knew
see
it.
that. You can
Oh,
see
okay.
that.
I thought I was being smart.
Really, you can see that.
Okay, apparently you can see it. There we go.
Yeah, and yeah. So there you have it.
And, sorry, last one. Sky's hairstyle was inspired by Kristen Stewart, who previously worked with Naomi Scott, but in which film?
Oh,
Mulholland Drive.
nice shout. What was it?
It was Charlie's Angels, the 2019 one.
That's unfortunate, isn't it?
Oh, what a waste of
Yeah,
space.
I know. Bill Murray.
I thought it was a fucking hot haircut though.
Yeah, sure. I thought it was more. It had that more sort of. What's the name out of Midsummer?
Oh, Jolie. What's her face? Yeah. No, it didn't. No.
Not from that film, but her like.
Oh,
her sociable
yeah,
haircuts.
oh shit! What's her name? Pugh. Florence Pugh. Fuck me, that was deep down.
She had a Florence Pugh haircut.
Yeah, she did. She had a Florence Pugh haircut.
Yeah, and in fact, when I first saw the trailer, I thought it was Florence Pugh playing the character initially.
Interesting.
You're not really good at this film reviewing shit,
No,
are you?
rubbish.
No, maybe you need to do a podcast for a year.
Maybe I do. So there you have it. So there's your review of Smile 2, a surprisingly good film.
It was a right royal romp. I
was
absolutely
indeed.
loved it.
It was. Lots of death. And all I can say is, you can look at a lot of horror movies, but I don't think we've given anything away, and I think we've done a really good review, so thank you very much.
This was one of our best reviews
Yes.
until you fucked it.
However, traditionally in horror movies, it's usually the sharp object you've got to be hiding your hands behind when somebody picks up a sharp object. But not necessarily in this film, because blunt objects are usually a little bit more terrifying than sharp objects. That's what I'm going to leave you to.
They so are.
Yeah?
It's-
That's what I'm going to leave you with.
And actually, why other horror directors haven't thought about the
Hang on a
blunt
minute.
object?
I'm going to use a blunt object because nobody's going to expect it to hurt so much.
And also because it actually creates a visual barrier.
Yeah.
So you know that every time said blunt object is removed, you're going to see something else.
Exactly.
It's fucking horrific.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Absolutely.
Love it. Awesome. Go and see Smile 2.
Yes.
It's a surprise cracker.
It is. And
I
if you
loved
don't want
it.
to see a bit of gore, it's very good. Right. That's our review of week 52. Thank you very much. So on a weekly basis, we like to find out what Peter hasn't seen at home on a streaming
We're
basis.
not doing reviews this week then.
What's wrong with
What
him
is
today?
wrong
Oh
with
yes,
you?
sorry, I beg your pardon.
He's just giddy, isn't he?
He's the one who was chasing everyone for
I
reviews.
know, and we're going to just ignore them.
I apologise.
Would you
Take
like
a
some
seat.
reviews?
You know what? I'm just going to sit back and
Sit back.
I'm
Let-
going to enjoy the rest of the podcast.
Do you know what? Let us drive, sweetheart.
Okay.
We'll be fine.
Thanks,
We
love.
can cope now.
Yeah.
We're good at this.
Carry on then.
I would say we know what we're doing, but
Let's not get
so
too
we've had
carried
4 reviews in. We've had one from Tucker TV, one from Lawrence, one from Leo, and one from Tom.
I think we've
Fantastic.
only got time for 3 of those.
So if we start with Tom.
Let's start with Tom.
Okay, so he's reviewed Terrifier 3.
Yo, yo, yo! Hello, Popcorn Pundits. It's Tom Brown once again back with another review. This week, I have seen Terrifier 3. And, it's good. You know, it's a semi-decent film. I really enjoyed it. Before I saw Terrifier 3, I decided to see the previous 2 just to go in, you know, with some understanding or whatever. The first one is by far the best one out of the entire series. I just love the first one. It's going to be a classic. It's just, even though it's got no story, people have been saying, oh, it's got no story. It has got a story, kind of, but it's the shorter run time of an hour and 20 minutes or so.
23
And
minutes short.
I just feel like it was just, it didn't really need sequels. But hey, I'm not going to complain because they're decent films. The second one is definitely the worst out of all of them. It just went on for way too long. But yeah, the third one, really, really good. I'm not going to spoil anything. If you like the other 2, you're going to like this. It's not really a horror film. It's just more gore and, you know, blood everywhere and rats and all that. I really like the bit where they had the mum tied to the chair and they had like a tube. And like, yeah, you know, that was probably the most horrific part in the cinema. And there was 2 old ladies that walked into the cinema, probably about 70-year-old or whatever. And I'm thinking, do you know what film you're about to see? But no, they loved it. They stayed through the entire film. They loved it, and I was a bit surprised by that because I thought they'd walked into the wrong theatre. It was just me and those 2 ladies, which was quite cool. So yeah, I really like the horror film aspect of it. But yeah, it was a really good film, and yeah. This is probably the last review from me in about 2-3 weeks. So yeah, see you in due course, homies. Bye, Browse.
And he gave it a 7.5.
7.5. Thank you
Yeah.
very much, Tom.
You had to chase him for a score, didn't you?
Yes,
Yeah.
thank you very much, Tom, for your score of Terrifier 3.
Thank you, Tom.
What else do we have?
We have had Lawrence, Leo, and Tucker TV. So where would you like to go?
You're in charge.
Let's,
I'm not driving anymore.
Let's go with Hannah Tucker. So before I read her review, she
Yes.
sent a little happy birthday, Popcorn Pundits.
Hi, Hannah.
Love listening to the podcast. You've definitely broadened our cinematic horizons. We've watched films that would have passed us by and had a good laugh listening to you along the way. I don't know who she's talking about.
Oh, thank you, Hannah. That's really sweet.
Thank you, and here's to another year of awesome film reviews from the Tuckers.
Another year.
Oh, You guys will enjoy that.
Don't know. Enjoys a word for it. So she has reviewed The Wild Robot.
Cool.
Oh,
that's cool.
Shush, I'm listening.
It's me saying it, so you don't have to listen.
Oh, don't worry about
The
it.
Wild
What are you saying?
Robot is the latest film from DreamWorks. It's set in the future and it's about a service robot called Ross who crash lands in a remote island. She gradually gets to know the many different animals that live
Fox.
there while trying to help an orphan baby goose learn how to fly. It's a lovely family film with a big heart and a big message about how we can and should be better to those around us.
Aww.
My 12-year-old loved it and enjoyed the way the character of Roz, the robot, developed through the film. It gets a bonus point for making me cry at the end and warm, fuzzy feelings all round. A family score of 9 out of 10.
Whoa!
Wow.
Well, if it's got a goose in it, we should have a gander at that, shouldn't we?
Hey! Absolutely. Is that
9 out of 10.
9 out of 10.
It does look stunning.
It does look
I'm
visually
tempted.
beautiful.
Should we go?
Should we go?
Should we have as a birthday trip out?
Yeah,
It could
definitely.
be.
Yeah.
It could be a Sunday thing, couldn't it?
Could be.
Next.
Next
oh,
is
apparently
from
it's a Sunday film.
Next is from Lawrence.
Hi, Lawrence.
Oh, I love Lawrence's
Yes,
film reviews.
it's the Thunder
Popcorn
Buddies.
Pundits. I just wanted to wish you a happy birthday. It's Lawrence here. 52 episodes. Wow. Amazing. Congrats on the milestone. I think that's not quite 52 hours of content. I think there were 1 or 2 weeks where maybe producer Nikki was not around and you ended up recording very little, well, other than an apology as to why you didn't have any content this week. But again, congrats again. Listening to your podcast, I guess, an hour a week, brings a little bit of a sort of film banter. It kind of either brightens up my my commute or my sort of walking around, getting some exercise. So congratulations again. I guess I was looking back through my Odeon purchases this year, or over the last 52 weeks. I think probably June 2 and Substance are sort of vying for films that I would sort of watch again if you ask me. I guess it depends what company I'm in, though, on those two things. But keep it up, guys. Keep up the great work, and congrats again. Cheers, bye.
Thank you very
He
much.
should do a podcast, shouldn't he?
He's very good.
He's really good. And he's right. June 2 and The Substance were the films of the
He
year.
is listening to us.
Someone has to. Leo Mars has left a review.
Hi, Leo.
Hi, Leo.
Popcorn Pundits, you absolute legends. Just a very quick one. I won't be as articulate and wordy as our friend Lawrence, but love the show. I'm so pleased I found out there was a YouTube piece. But anyway, I can't watch that in the gym when I'm running. But I love hearing all three of you just get on. I've loved seeing the journey of those first few where I was like, I'm only doing this because they're my friends, to now actually loving it. And you guys are just ace. So here's to many, many more. When you guys go global, don't forget me. All right, thanks, Popcorn Pundits.
Thanks, Leo.
Thanks, Leo.
That was lovely.
Thanks,
Oh,
Lawrence.
bless him. He
Thanks,
means
Hannah.
it. He
Thanks,
really
Tom.
means it. He loves us.
He does love us.
Yeah.
And we love him,
Don't
do.
we?
don't we just? So there you go.
Absolutely.
Yes, talking of loving things. Peter, what was your homework this week?
Hey, see, like, this is how it should work. I just sit back.
Yeah, you should do.
Yeah, you
She's
should.
Slick, baby.
Yes. Let's go for it.
So I watched my homework at 6 o'clock this morning.
Wow.
Because I ran out of time this week. So you set me the film of Ghost Stories, which was made in 2017. It's a 15 certificate.
Yes.
It's a measly 1 hour 38 minutes.
Just shy of it by about 4 minutes.
That's right. And I streamed it on Prime.
Did you?
I
Also
did.
available on BBC iPlayer.
Correct. Yeah. I didn't watch it on that. I watched it on Prime.
So tell me, give me a small story plot before you go into how you felt about it.
Oh, okay. So basically, there is a guy who is a...
It's a British movie, isn't it?
Do you want to do this review?
No, I'm just making sure that people know what it is.
Okay. This is a British movie.
Is it?
Yes. And it has Paul Whitehouse and Martin Freeman in it.
Is it?
Because I think you probably want people to know that as well.
Yeah, British actors.
Yeah, British actors
Yeah,
in a British
movie.
film.
Okay.
And one actor who isn't one of those two
Yes.
is playing one of these people that kind of debunks spiritual
Yes.
people.
Yes.
And he basically, the opening scene is him kind of bursting onto stage. And there's one of those medium people, like,
Yes.
basically saying, "Oh, your daughter is doing this," and then
Yeah.
and the woman in the audience is crying and bawling her eyes out.
That's right.
And it becomes very apparent that he's got an earpiece in, and they've taken some information from beforehand. And he basically goes on stage and says, "Ha ha! I
Yes.
know how he's doing it. He's got an earpiece."
Yeah.
And she would, anyway, so that happens.
So he's highlighting naughty people pretending to be...
Exactly right. And then it kind of goes into a bit of story about him and blah,
Yep.
blah, blah, blah. And then I've forgotten why he meets his kind of hero from his youth, but he meets his hero from his youth.
That's right.
Who was a similar type of character. His
Inspired him.
Yes, that's right. He did. That's how they met.
Yes.
And he inspired him, and and so he went to visit him, and he said basically, I sold everything apart from these 3 cases.
Yes.
And he gives him a file
Yes.
of the 3 cases, and then he goes to try and solve the 3 cases.
That's right.
That's it.
And that's it.
That's the kind of warm up.
Yeah, exactly. So it's set to look like a classic, multi-story horror movie where you get several different stories in it,
Yeah.
get different characters in it, and you get different outcomes in each one. And obviously, they're like every single great horror movie, they're usually connected in some weird way. Is that true, Peter?
Yes, and
Okay.
I just have to say I'm feeling really quite proud because this year
Yes.
has been an education in film
Yep.
and especially in horror.
Yes.
Now I can tell by the smile on your face and the glee in your voice
Yeah.
that I'm right about our opinion of this film. Sorry, our opinions
Yes.
of this
Because
film.
they're individual.
They're individual.
We're all individuals.
Now,
Nikki's not.
I'm guessing that you love this film, and the reason so the words I was thinking about this morning when I was watching it was charming, British,
Yes.
cute,
Yep.
Oh, thanks.
low budget.
Yep.
Thanks.
It's and the
From a House of Horror, perhaps?
yeah, it's amateurish. I think actually, I thought the script writing of this film was really so. It wasn't bad script writing, but it was like the guy was clearly our age who wrote this film,
Right.
and he was introducing words and phrases that we had when we were kids,
Right.
which are now they're no longer acceptable.
Okay.
So there's one person who refers to the Chinese takeaway as a ching.
yeah.
And there's quite a few
Yeah.
little sound bites in that,
Yeah.
which are quite uncomfortable words to
But they
hear.
are pointed out. They're not just thrown through.
Oh
It's-
yeah, no, absolutely right. I'm not saying there's anything wrong about it, and the way they've done the screenwriting, but it just really struck me that this was a screenwriter who was definitely trying to chuck some irksome stuff from our youth, like
Yes.
like when we were teenagers
I'm with you.
or whatever.
Yeah.
So the one of the things you said last week about this film, and one of the things you liked about it, was that we're basically on a triptych of stories, which are kind of woven together towards the end of the film. So we have the Paul Whitehouse story is the first one,
Yeah.
and he's basically a caretaker of a warehouse,
Yeah.
which was historically a sanitarium for mad. Nutty women. It's a nut house for old
You
birds.
can say mad bitches, it's fine.
Oh no, I'm trying to think of the words that he used
Okay.
because this is one of the things I was saying.
Yeah.
It was like a what was the terminology they used to call it? A nut house for old birds,
Yeah.
or something like that.
He basically plays
It's like the fast show.
an ex-geezer
Yeah, but
who's
so I can't see him in a horror. I mean, I warmed towards him and everyone towards the end of this film,
Yeah.
but it took me so long to
know
get
what you mean.
into them, and this is one of the reasons why I thought you would love this film, and I found it quite difficult to
Yeah.
watch. If the same film was made with actors that I didn't know, and
Yeah.
it didn't feel quite so
familiar, perhaps.
no,
With
it's
different
no,
scenarios.
it's the production quality I have an issue with. It felt a bit TV
Right.
for me, and I don't like telly.
Okay.
Because over this last year, I don't know if you've known or not, but I've watched like nearly 100 films,
Have you?
and I've become quite obsessed about movie quality compared to TV quality.
Yeah.
In now that I don't really watch any TV programs anymore because I find the production of them really substandard to most of the cinema
Yeah.
that we watch. And this one took me right back to my TV watching days.
Absolutely, yeah.
And the plot is really quite good.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a really cute little ghost story.
Yeah.
It does exactly what it says on the
Exactly
tin.
what it says on
So
the tin.
basically, we've got this triptych of little ghost stories.
Yep.
And then there's kind of like a little bit of weaving towards the end,
Yes.
and which you always kind of expect with these kind of things. Yeah, it was all right.
Yeah.
It was all right.
Good.
Yeah.
So you didn't see all the connections. You didn't see all of the little crumbs that were left inside.
No, I mean you've watched this film how many times?
5.
Yeah, 5 times. And it's and even the tagline of this film
Yeah.
is so I understand that the spelling of this film
Yeah.
pre this film coming out
Yeah.
was spelt wrong.
Correct.
Because there's something along the lines of what your brain does something to what it sees. It wants to believe what it sees,
Yeah.
or something along those type of lines. And that was the whole kind of thing about the guy that's trying to debunk all the spooky stuff.
That's right. Yeah.
And and as you're going through all the stories, there's kind of little bits and bobs and stuff like that. And the third story and
Yes.
the post-log of this film are by far the best bit of this film.
Yeah.
It's a film that if you start watching it and you don't love it to start with, I didn't love it to start with.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it towards the end.
Yeah, you got to settle in,
Yeah, you got to settle in and let
And
Martin,
focus on it.
let Martin Freeman do his thing, and
which he did.
he did.
Which he did.
was
Yeah,
actually
he
very
went
good
through.
in this.
Yeah, but I classify him as a very, very good actor generally.
Generally, yeah, but he does occasionally have a stinker,
Yeah.
doesn't he? Do you not think? Anyway, this
Ever
wasn't
so.
a stinker. It was yeah. So like, I wrote down. So this is directed and written, I think, by Jeremy Dyson, and I printed this out. So basically, Jeremy was born in Leeds, Yorkshire. He attended Leeds University, where he received a degree in philosophy. He then went on to Northern School of Film and Television, where he received an MA in script writing. It was at Leeds University that Jeremy met fellow League of Gentlemen members Mark Gatiss, Steve Bemberton, and Reese ... Because I didn't print that bit
Isn't
off.
it Stevenson? Reese Stevenson.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I didn't get past it. I should have clicked on the ... And I just printed out. But that little paragraph there explains exactly what you're going to see.
Yeah.
It's not comedic, this.
No.
But it's the dry side of
Yeah.
that League of Gentlemen type of uncomfortableness
Yes.
that you're watching, and it was perfectly adequate, but nothing more than that for me.
Okay.
How did you feel about it?
So, all the way through this, I was thinking about you this week watching this film.
Yeah.
Okay, and I was going to text you and say, whatever you do, watch it in a dark room, watch it without any interruptions at all, because the issue is, it could be seen as comedic. It could be perceived as not a serious horror movie at all. And yes, there is definitely television references and so on and so forth. And there's a lot of Black Mirror thrown in there as well. It's the way it's been filmed. And I agree completely. The production of it does have an historical BBC horror movie genre to it.
Yeah.
But that is Mark Gatiss. Mark Gatiss is such a gigantic horror nerd, and he's made so many programs about horror films, so many programs about Hammer House horror in particular. So there's a lot of beautiful references all the way through this film that actually leave you breadcrumbs to what's happening at the end. For instance, obviously, the very first scene you see is the mirror.
Yeah.
And you see, and you've got the pigeon, and you've got
The doll in the yellow dress.
exactly. So this is one of the films I personally feel gets better every time you watch it. Okay.
Yeah, I can understand that. I can totally understand that.
Because I think it's cleverer than it is horror. Okay. It's more highbrow and homages to a horror geek than it would be to a slasher geek. For somebody who's historically fascinated by horror movies and all the connections they can have with each other, and little breadcrumbs and the little Easter eggs and so on and so forth in films, this is a dream come true, because the more you watch this film and the more you start noticing there's a beautiful scene at the very, very, very beginning of the film when he's standing there and a plastic bag just comes whooping over and just hits his leg. It's exactly the same plastic bag at the end of the movie.
Oh, he leads down.
Exactly.
Okay.
There was a point where Martin Freeman's character is chatting with, and they're kind of outside a pub, and the pub sign is the archway to the subway, the tunnel. It's beautiful, lots of little and you'll only really notice that when you've watched it the second or maybe the third time. So I think this is a film you'll tuck in your back pocket and watch ever so often when you want to watch a half decent British horror movie.
Okay. Is it worth watching over and over again just to feel smug about seeing the little Easter eggs?
Not at all.
Is it worthwhile?
No, because what you do is you I think it's an educational movie in the history of horror movies, and I think it's important to watch it on a semi-regular, once a year. I'm asking, just watch it once a year,
Okay.
and then come back to me.
So this time next year,
Yeah, I'll watch it for our anniversary or birthday.
Every anniversary.
year, forever and ever and ever.
Absolutely.
I didn't hate it, but for me it was a 6.5.
Do you know what? I'll take a 6.5 from
Yeah.
you.
Yeah,
To me, it's got BBC written all over it.
Yeah, and I struggle with that. And yeah, as I said, if it was a bit more A24y and it had a
Yeah.
different cast to it, I think I would have found it easier to watch. I just found the famous British actors in it, especially comedy actors. I found it off-putting because it's not a comedy film.
I see where you're coming from.
Yeah.
And I think it only comes through time of watching it over and over again.
Yeah, fair enough.
Absolutely.
Thank you, James.
Absolute pleasure.
it's not Rhys Stevenson, it's Rhys Shearsmith.
Oh,
Okay.
really?
So Rhys Stevenson's a British TV presenter.
Right.
Did you want some facts?
Yes,
quick?
please.
Let's have a look. So, as Peter said, the title of the film was misspelt as Ghost Store Is. So
Yes.
Storeis. In much of the pre-release media, and this was done to accord with the production tagline, the brain sees what it wants to see. So pretty much echoing what Peter said.
Yep.
It's based on the West End play by League of Gentlemen writer Jeremy Dyson. It was filmed over Halloween weekend of 2016 in a park in Leeds.
That is very cool.
And it's both Andy Nyman and Jeremy Dyson's feature film directorial debut. One of 27 horror movies to feature Martin Freeman.
Yep.
So obviously it's Ghost Stories, and the other is Cargo.
Yes, which was really good actually.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah.
And then Daniel Hill, who plays Andy Newman's character's father,
Yep.
is actually only 10 years older than him.
Of course. Yeah.
It has had 7 nominations and 1 win.
Mm-hmm.
The win is a 2019 Fangora Chainsaw Award. I knew that made James happy. And the IMDb score is 6.4.
For what?
Okay.
For what
Ghost
chainsaw award did it win?
It won Best First Feature.
Okay, cool.
I get that.
It did have a little bit of a university project feel about the screenwriting. I think that's how I kind of felt about it. It felt like a first attempt.
I think what happened is the second time you watch it, you'll realise a lot of the text
It's set up to show me more.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah,
it
no,
is,
no, I understand that.
So
I mean,
yeah.
I did.
And you're right. It feels disjointed the first time you watch it. I think.
Yeah. But I did pick up on a lot of the because when I went with the doll, for example,
Yes.
it reminded me of Jaws. The yellow the yellow colour before every shark attack.
Yeah.
Malarkey.
Yeah.
And I was wondering whether there was a
There's also It as well.
I was just wondering if there was some James crackers coming out, some stuff that I didn't know that you could talk to me about.
No, not on this occasion.
Okay, there we go.
Okay. So we've had a couple of weeks where you haven't been wowed.
Oh no, I was wowed by Smile too.
No, but I'm about homework.
He meant homework.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
no, yeah, absolutely, yeah. You pulled one out of the bag for me, James.
I'm pulling one out of the bag for you that I've mentioned once or twice before. You've got a choice.
Swim Fan 2.
You've got a choice. It's the only reason why you've got a choice because you haven't come home with your homework twice so far over the last couple of months. And so I'm going to give you an opportunity to draw back into the bit of homework that you haven't done before.
Okay.
So I've got you have the option of either Quiet Place 1 and Quiet Place 2, or a 2000 movie.
Yeah.
And it's available on Prime. It's an FBI agent pursues a social worker who has got a new experimental technology. It's basically it's a serial killer movie where she goes into the brain of a serial killer.
Right. Okay.
Okay, it's called The Cell.
Okay.
It is aesthetically mind-blowing. The story plot is not as deep or twisted or layered as I would usually like you to watch, but the aesthetics alone are just incredible.
Did they use the same kind of cinematography as being John Malkovich?
No,
Like the brain tunnel?
No.
No.
Not at all, in
Oh,
fact.
Shame.
No. So what do you want to watch? You want to watch The Cell?
Malkovich.
Or are you going to watch Quiet Place?
Oh, I'm going to surprise you next week.
Okay, well, in that case, The Cell, did you say it was the 2000 one?
That's correct.
So it's available on Google Play, Apple TV, Sky Store, or Amazon Prime.
Yep.
And A Quiet Place is currently available on Paramount Plus,
Got
Amazon
that.
Prime,
Got
both
that.
with subscription.
Got both.
Google Play, Apple TV, and the Sky Store.
Brilliant. I can watch all three, should I wish.
You could watch all three. It's Halloween week.
And what are we going to watch at the cinema this week?
That's a very good question. The Apprentice is definitely on the cards. I was going to see that last night, but I feel a little bit unwell. So I definitely want to see that because I'm very, very excited about that. I'm not too sure. Have you booked anything else so far?
Venom is out.
Oh, yes, it is. Yes. Now, I'll be completely honest with you. I haven't been overly impressed with Venom 1 or Venom 2 so far.
Okay.
Because I found they are the weaker tones of the Marvel universe. And I felt they haven't used Tom Hardy's acting ability by any stretch of the imagination. But he's loving it. So I'm willing to give him one last chance because it's the last, they call it the last dance.
You're going to give him the last chance, last dance.
Exactly. And I think it'd be rude not to watch the last movie with him. So
I think it'd be rude too. I've got a little birthday surprise for you and Nikki.
have you?
Yeah, I've got a guest reviewer coming next week.
Have you?
Yeah.
Is it Tom Hardy?
I can't tell you.
Have you?
I'm not telling you who it is.
Right.
Hugh Jackman.
I can't tell you who it is.
Yes.
And, but there's a guest reviewer coming next week.
Right.
And when either before or after we've done the review, I haven't decided yet. We have to guess who he is.
Right.
There you go.
Okay.
Okay,
Is
so
it
it's
an
a
actor?
man.
You weren't expecting that.
Is it an actor?
Oh no, we're doing the guessing next week.
Right. Has he got two legs?
We're doing the guessing next week.
Okay.
I'm excited. It's not out quite yet. It's out on the 8th of November, but I'm excited for Paddington in Peru.
I'm very excited about it as well. And also Heretic as well.
When is that out?
I've booked, I think, the 6th or 3rd of November, I think.
They changed the trailer again this week, and it looks better again.
According to IMDb, the preview's on the 31st of October.
Right.
And it's in cinemas on the 1st.
Right.
For,
1st of November.
However you say it.
Halloween.
Gladiator 2 is out on the 15th of November.
Yeah.
And then obviously Wicked's coming out. Craven the Hunter looks quite good on the 13th of December. It's got Aaron Taylor-Johnson in and Russell Crowe.
And it was a new trailer for Nosferatu.
Oh, yeah.
What is it? What actually is it?
Nosferatu.
What's the proper word?
It is Nosferatu.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
I might be saying it like I've got it wrong.
No. Did you know that it's not... It's based identically to the Dracula story?
Yeah.
Nosferatu.
Yes.
Thank you. I told you I got it wrong.
Anyway.
That's out 3rd of January 2025.
Which is just around the corner.
Yeah.
It is,
Exactly.
we'll blink and we'll be there.
Yeah,
Yep.
absolutely.
How can people get in touch and why?
Just to wish us a fucking good birthday.
Yes, indeedy.
But-
Petey, over to you.
Oh, you can leave a little comment underneath our YouTube video.
You can.
Leave us a post on our Facebook page.
That'd be nice.
You can WhatsApp us.
Yes.
You can Instagram DM us.
You can.
Or you can click the little leave a message at the introductory page of your podcast streaming platform.
Wow, that was very good.
That
well
was
done,
amazing.
you.
But
you know what,
It all fell
James?
out your head.
When you do that,
Yes.
please
Yes.
tell us who you are. Because
Yes,
it's
Because we don't know.
anonymous.
We just don't know.
Yeah, or just
Or don't.
yeah,
If you want to say anonymous.
yeah. Especially if it's a horror one.
Yeah.
That'd be scary.
And if you enjoy our podcast, put a little like. You can like the little hearts on things like Spotify and stuff.
Can you?
Yeah,
Can
just
you
build-
subscribe to us?
I believe so, yeah. Like, rate, review, and subscribe.
Well,
And
they
if
should
some-
probably do that as well then, shouldn't
Yeah.
And if somebody wanted to see us on the screen, how would they do that, Nikki?
Well, they can, like Peter said, they can go to YouTube or they can get a ladder and look through this window.
He could do, couldn't
they? I'd
he?
rather they didn't do that.
Oh, I quite like that. Go and get a ladder now.
James's address is.
Yes. Am I in a dress?
It wouldn't surprise
It
me.
would be a very nice dress, whatever it
It
was.
would be, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
With little
absolutely.
pleats and everything.
There we go.
Yeah. Is that it? Week 52.
We did
Bonk,
it.
isn't it?
We
Technically,
actually-
like Lawrence said, technically it's 51. from
It
when
is
I
kind of
was
51,
in.
Yeah,
but
thankfully.
you would bring that up, producer Nikki.
So there you have it. Thank you so much. I just said thank you so much for listening and watching us for the last 12 months.
What did we have for the last episode?
I don't know why he was Amy.
I'm off.
Love it. Yeah, it's been a journey, isn't it?
It's been.
Yes, I'm just starting a new popcorn. I'm starting a new podcast called the Hot Dog Hungries.
And thank you for everyone's reviews and feedback and everything
Yes.
over the past year.
Absolutely.
Go on then, Peter, do the honours.
Cool.
Pa 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 pa.
Popcorn
Pundits.
week
52.
Yeah.
You thought that papa was going to be shit. It was actually really good.
It was very good.
Yeah, I liked it.